Ida for telling my kids not to call her their aunt? New to this forum, so I will try to make this simple. 25 years ago, when I married my now ex-wife, we were very close to my Uncle P, my dad's younger half-brother, and his wife, my Aunt D. My ex-wife and D were particularly close because they were very close in age, so they treated each other more like sisters. Only a few weeks after we were married, P died suddenly in an accident. D had 2 young kids, 1 and 2. At the time we went to the funeral and did all the family things, and then my parents decided that since P was dead, D was no longer technically family. So, we all stopped seeing her and the kids at my parents' request. Well, I didn't know this, but all that time, my ex-wife was in contact with D over email and eventually social media. No one else in the family was close to D or even seeing her and the kids at this time. Because again, my uncle was dead, so she was no longer my aunt. Why should my ex-wife be in contact with them? There is no reason. Well, about 12 years after P died, my wife and I divorced. After the divorce, my ex-wife started spending more and more time with D, who by now was remarried and had a daughter, K, the same age as my middle kid. These 2 are now 17, I have 2 other kids as well. My kids would tell me about all the time they spent with cousin K, and each time I would tell them she is not their cousin. They would then ask me if A and J, D's boys with my late uncle, were their cousins, and I would tell them technically yes. They would say that since K is the sister of A and J, that makes her their cousin as well. I told them that's not how it works. Despite this, my ex-wife and my kids kept spending time with D and the kids, especially K. Just this past week, my 2 younger kids told me they were going to Aunt D's for Thanksgiving to see her and K and the surviving son of P, along with his wife and kids. The older son of P died last year, also in an accident. I was very upset and told my children again that D is not their aunt and K is not their cousin, that D and K are just regular people. My son, who is the same age as K, said that's not true, and he has really enjoyed having a cousin only a few weeks younger than him while he has been growing up, and that he really misses his cousin A and wants to see his room and visit his things so he can feel like A is still alive. I told him that my brother's 2 kids are his cousins, but that's all the cousins he has, that I'm sorry A died but he was not their cousin, and that they are no longer allowed to refer to D as aunt in my presence. The kids said that's not fair and that's all they've ever known her as. I told them that could not possibly be true because P died before any of them were born, so they should never have called them family in the first place. They said I was being a jerk.